Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all well. So here we go, new vinyl record video. Haven't done one for a few months now, but I have since the last video picked up quite a few records. So I thought I'd show you what I got. Yeah, and I've got, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records to show you. So not too bad, 6 albums. A bit of a mixture, a lot of different artists. So yeah, let's crack on. And the first album I picked up, now this is a follow-up album to an album that I absolutely love by this artist. And I was really waiting for this to come out. I couldn't wait to get the vinyl. It seemed like it was taking forever to get released, keep getting pushed back. And I was talking to 16-bit Luke, and he wanted it as well. And it was just looking like it was never getting released. Eventually it came out anyway, and I did pick it up. I was really happy to get this. And the album is Love Story by Yellow Wolf. As you can see, it's got a really nice front cover. It's got a real striking image of that wolf actually. It probably doesn't come across as well on camera, but yeah, trust me, it's really, really striking. And on the back, you've just got a picture of Yellow Wolf in a cafe. And in the gatefold centre is just the lyrics. So yeah, nothing too special on the gatefold. But yeah, I mean, what can I say about this album really? It's alright. I just wasn't as impressed as I expected to. You know, his first album, Radioactive, is much better for me personally. That's a straight up hip hop album, whereas this one, he's matured, he's putting more of a personality onto the record, and he's trying a few different things. So there's a mixture of genres in this album. It's completely different to Radioactive. And I've listened to it a few times. American You I really like. Whiskey in a Bottle's really good. But Devil in My Veins, remember right, that was the one that stood out for me the most when I listened to this album. I've listened to it a few times, about 3 or 4 times now. But a lot of the songs I just can't connect with. Whereas Radioactive was a solid album from A to B, it's just really good. I didn't find a track I didn't like on that album really. This one, it's sort of good track versus bad track on each side. It just, for me, just doesn't work at all. It's not as good. I applaud him for trying something different and trying to expand his horizons and become more of an artist. That's cool, but yeah, I think he's better doing straight hip hop, to be quite honest with you. But the album looks really nice anyway. So that's Love Story. Just out of interest, anybody's interested in any of these artists, I'll show you as well. If you want to hear any tracks, because I can't put them in the video for copyright reasons, check out down in the description. There's going to be links down there for songs from each of the albums, so you can have a listen, see if it's something you might be interested in. Because that is the main thing about vinyl videos, for me personally anyway, as a watcher. I like to watch other people pick up records because it gives me inspiration to try new artists I've never heard of. Right, next album is a brilliant album I got for Christmas. I showed this in my previous Christmas pickup video. Very happy to have this one. It's absolutely stellar album, and it's Delirium by Ellie Goulding. Yeah, I love this album. I mean, the cover's great because you've got the beautiful Ellie Goulding front and back. You've got the gatefold. No, it's not a gatefold. In fact, it's just a normal record, isn't it? That's right, because you've got 2 discs with 2 sleeves inside for some really nice pictures of Ellie, which is really cool. Yeah, it's a fantastic album. I've got to be honest, there isn't a bad track on this album. I haven't found a single song that I don't like. I mean, there's how many tracks in total? We've got about 32 tracks, 22 tracks. So I'm miles off. I can't count. 22 tracks, or 22 tracks of awesome. There isn't a bad song. It's really hard, if I'm honest, to pick songs out that I like above and beyond the other songs, because every song I like. But Something in the Way You Move I really like. On My Mind is my favourite track. Love that track. What else is it? Codes was really good. I like that one. Army, of course, is being used in adverts at the moment. It's really cool. Yeah, it's just an absolutely stunning album. I wasn't a fan of Ellie Goulding for a long time, as I've said in my previous Christmas video. I didn't know too much about her, and I never really paid attention. And then when I heard On My Mind, that was the song that got me, because she was on X Factor performing that, and I was like, I like that. I really like the sound of her voice. She's got a real individual style. And I checked out a few tracks online, found out that some of the older songs with like Starry Eyed I was aware of and didn't realise it was Ellie Goulding. So yeah, absolutely great. Delirium is a fantastic album. Highly recommend picking this one up, guys. I will be going back and picking up other 2 albums as well at some point. Right, next album is a fantastic album. Now we're moving to heavy metal now. Now this album is from a band that I've always loved, but one album in particular of theirs is the one that really got me into the band. It's called Alive or Just Breathing, and the band is Killswitch Engage. Now I've got their latest album from 2013, which is called Disarm the Descent. Nice little cover, nothing particularly special, but it looks alright. And you've got the, I don't know what that is on the front. It's some kind of woman in cloth being set alight. Yeah, interesting. On the back you got the band, and in the centre as well, the gatefold is also the band. So they haven't really pushed themselves with the artwork. But the album is incredible. Now, as I say, Alive or Just Breathing, for me, one of the best albums I've ever heard from any artist across all genres of music. It's just up there as one of the best. It's an amazing album. And unfortunately, Jesse Leach, the lead singer, left the band. They brought in Howard Jones. They put out a few albums over the last few years, and I never really liked Howard Jones. I thought he was good, but he wasn't Jesse Leach. Jesse Leach, just for me, is the perfect. He was the missing part of the puzzle with his band. When he's with the band, they just sound phenomenal, and they just connect perfectly. And so when I heard that he'd come back to the band, I was so chuffed. And I went on YouTube, looked up some tracks, and I found In Due Time. Listened to that, and I was like, oh my god, it was just incredible. It just took me right back to when I first heard Alive or Just Breathing. And it was just magical. It really was. It was just that perfect combination of Jesse Leach's amazing screamo going into like beautiful melodic vocals combined with the band and the amazing guitars, and it's just incredible. So I went out and picked it to Disarm the Descent, thought I'd give it a try. Wasn't disappointed. Again, like Ellie Goulding, there isn't a bad track on this album. It's absolutely phenomenal. There's 18 tracks, all fantastic. If you love Killswitch and you like this type of metal, you're going to love this album if you haven't listened to it. It's brilliant. But In Due Time, The New Awakening, The Call, and No End in Sight, from what I can remember, were the 4 tracks that really stood out for me the most. But every other song is incredible. The album is incredible. And they're working on a new album which is coming out pretty soon, I think. I think they're getting close to the end now. Cannot wait for that. I really hope Jesse sticks around with the band, because they are one of my favourite metal bands, and you know, Jesse Leach is just an incredible singer. So yeah, Killswitch Engage, Disarm the Descent. Highly recommend checking this one out. Next up, I've got another album that I picked up didn't pick up, I got for a Christmas gift. I keep saying that. So if you've seen my Christmas video, you'll know what the album is. Now this one seems to be splitting opinions by all accounts. Everybody I've spoken to online so far, whether it be Twitter or in the comments on my Christmas video, except for 16-Bit Luke, is the only person who seems to actually like this album. Everybody else either wasn't impressed or thought it was a total pile of shit. There seems to be quite a backlash against this album. It surprised me, because when I listened to it, I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. But I'll show you what it is first of all, and it is Dr. Dre Compton. So, you know, on the front you've got a nice shot of Compton, I assume that is there, which looks absolutely incredible. It could just be Los Angeles and they've switched out the Hollywood side, actually, I'm not too sure. That's more than likely what it is. But anyway, on the back you've got the car with the arm, the tattoo, and then you've got the gatefold, which isn't much, it's just the back end of a car. So yeah, nothing too exciting. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. This album is just absolutely incredible. I was really surprised. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, actually. You know, everybody was, when I got the comments on my video, and I hadn't listened to the album at that point, and everyone was going, oh, it's really not that good, or I've heard a couple of tracks, so I'm not too sure about this one. And I thought, oh Christ, is it a bad album? Is it going to be another, what was the album he brought out for? I keep forgetting, Aftermath. Is it going to be another Aftermath situation? But I've got to be honest, it isn't The Chronic. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to live up to The Chronic, because that was just a classic album. You know, it's never going to be beaten, but I think he did a great job. I love the beats on this album. Some of the tracks that were standing out for me were like Genocide, It's All On Me. There was, what else was there? Loose Cannons was really good with Exhibit, I like that one. Just Another Day with the Game, I like that as well. One Shot, One Kill wasn't too bad with John Connor and Snoop Dogg. There was only one track that I didn't like, which I've just got a note, so I'll just have a look. What was it I didn't like? Oh yeah, that was the one, Satisfaction, featuring Snoop. It's a couple of people I've never heard of. But yeah, that was the only track I didn't like. But I actually thought it was a pretty decent album. I would not slag it off like some people are. I didn't think it was amazing. It's not on Chronic level by any means whatsoever, but it had a few of those throwbacks to the old 90s West Coast sound. If you've ever listened to the album Murder Was the Case, from back when Snoop was going through his court situation, it reminded me of some of the beats off that album. yeah, I really like Compton. I thought it was a great album, and I don't understand the hatred for it. I can only assume it's people who, you know, I mean, I spoke to a couple of people and I heard things like, you know, it was there's too much auto-tune and all this. And I understand, you know, technically maybe there is issues with the album, but I'm not a technical person. I don't know much about making music itself. I just like listening to it. So for me, it's a great album. I like Dre's beats. Yeah, it isn't, as I say, it's never going to be Chronic ever. But Compton is a solid album, and I wouldn't be put off by it if you decide not to listen to it because other people have been saying it's crap. Just have a listen and see what you think, because I reckon it's worth a listen at least. So that's Compton. Next album I was really tough with this one. So Matthew, I think it's Matthew Bailey from Barley, on Twitter, he messaged me one night and told me this album was available on eBay. There's a guy in Japan selling 10 copies of this album. Now this is an album I did not expect to get on vinyl. I really wanted a record of this. I didn't want to get it on CD because I'm absolutely obsessed with this band at the moment. And this album is just one of the most incredible things I've heard in a long time. Unfortunately, trying to get a vinyl copy was just seemingly impossible. And then, as I say, Matt sent me a message on Twitter and said, Pete, I've just bought one, have a look at this. And I had a look, the guy had 10 copies left. So I just went, you know what, I've got to get it, haven't I? So I dived in and grabbed it, and I'm really glad I did. It is the self-titled album from Baby Metal. And you may have heard me mention these before in my other videos, but I love Baby Metal. They are absolutely incredible. If you don't know who they are, they're made up by two different bands in a way. You've got the metal band at the back who produce all the music, and then you've got three girls at the front who are Baby Metal, which are Sue Metal, You Metal, Moa Metal, and they are basically J-pop artists who have been brought on to combine heavy metal with J-pop, and it's just the most incredible thing you'll ever hear. Fantastic record and all, very nice, very simple, but you've got the black and the red, which I always like as a combination of colour. You know, on the back you've just got track listings, and then on the gatefold we have the fox masks which they wear in the video for Midget Sune. And yeah, it's just an absolutely incredible album. Now, you don't have to understand Japanese. So I know some people won't listen to music that's in a foreign language because they find it hard to tune into the music, but for me, I just see it as another instrument. I don't really think about the fact that I can't understand the lyrics. And to be quite honest, you can sing along to these songs. You know, it's not difficult Japanese, and after you've heard the songs a few times, you end up picking up words anyway, at least I have. But yeah, every single track on this album, absolutely stunning. There isn't a bad song on the album. Again, it's just a flawless album. The intro, Baby Metal Death, is probably the only thing I don't listen to. I always skip that because it goes on a bit and I don't really see the point in it. You know, on a stage show, it would make a lot more sense. You know, if like normal metal shows, like when you went to see Slipknot years ago, and you had the curtain up, and you know they do the build up of the intro, and then the curtain drops and the band just kick in. That would make sense. But on a record, there's not really much point having that intro there. But anyway, favourite tracks: Midget Sune, incredible. Gimme Chocolate, amazing. Doki Doki Morning is my absolute favourite song. I love that song. I just don't even know where to begin with this. Wonder of Nightmare, and I can't pronounce a lot of the songs because they're in like Japanese. There's Headbanger, which is an absolute brilliant track. It's just such a great album, and I really can't explain how good they are until you listen to Baby Metal. As I say, there are links in the description, so please check out a couple of tracks from them because they're an amazing band, and you really do have to listen to them and watch their videos to really understand where they're coming from. Because you know, someone can say to you, oh yeah, they mix heavy metal and J-pop, and you'd be like, what? That's not going to work. Or you know, you can say, oh, they mix heavy metal and J-pop, but they also use different genres of metal, and they also throw reggae in there, and they also throw hip-hop in there, and it just sounds like a total mess. But it's not. It's just so incredibly produced, and it's easily the best album I've listened to in the last couple of years. Phenomenal. So Baby Metal, definitely worth checking them out. And there are other Japanese bands as well that are worth checking out as well, such as Lady Baby, who I'm absolutely obsessed with because they're just incredible. Scandal, Destros, Disqualia. There's a few others. Once you start down that rabbit hole of Japanese music, there's some incredible bands out there. Right, so the last record that I've got today, guys, is from a band that I haven't listened to since the early 2000s. And back when I got into this band, when they first came around, I remember reading back when I used to read Metal Hammer and Kerrang, and there was a lot of discussion at the time about whether they were just weak versions of Slipknot, and they claimed that Slipknot ripped them off with the idea of using the masks and all this, that and the other. And their first album, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I saw them live and I thought they were great. So, you know, I got into the band, but I've never listened to them since, so I haven't paid attention to their career. And in the past few years as well, I've been more focused on retro gaming, and I listen to music obviously every day, but I've not really gone out of my way to learn about new artists or to see what old artists that I used to like have been putting out. And I haven't really, really been asked about music in that respect, only just, listen to the same old albums over and over again. And so the one night, a couple of weeks back, I was on, well, it was over Christmas, I was on YouTube one night and the suggested videos came up, and it suggested a record from these guys, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know they were still going, so I thought I'd have a quick listen and see what it's like. Wasn't too sure about it. I tried another track, really liked that one, and looked up the album was like 10 quid, so I thought, in fact, it might even have been 9 quid, it was that cheap on Amazon, which should have told me something really. But I decided to just get it anyway and just have a listen to it. And it is called, let me get this right, The Righteous and the Butterfly by Mushroom Head. Really nice cover as well. It's got a strange, I don't know how to explain it. The butterfly itself, it feels embossed and it's really glossy. Really nice cover. And the back's just the track listings, then you've got the gatefold with the lyrics, so nothing particularly amazing. Now, the tracks that I heard, let me get this right, were QWERTY, which I wasn't sure about because it's got a weird rap bit in the middle of it, which that is the kind of thing they do, rap metal sort of. But yeah, it just didn't work for me at all. And then I think the other one was Out of My Mind, if I remember rightly, which I really liked that one. I thought it was a good track. But I've got to be honest with you guys, I listened to this album and there's a reason why it's 9 quid on Amazon, because it ain't that great. This is not Mushroom Head like they used to be. It's just, I don't know, man, it just didn't connect with me at all. I didn't really like any of the other tracks. As I say, Out of My Mind is the only track I actually like on the album, and there's 14 tracks in total. So yeah, they're not the band they used to be. Back in the early 2000s, I thought they were fantastic. I really liked the debut album, but this one's not for me at all. But I took a punt and it was worth it, and I actually like the cover as well, so yeah, why not? So there you go, that's the latest records I've added to my collection. When I eventually get more records, I'll put them in the collection. I'll do a video, show you what I've got. Let me know what you think down below, guys. If you've listened to any of these albums, if you like any of these artists, let me know what you think. If you've got any artists you can recommend from any genre of music, really, just let me know in the comments and I'll have a listen. And if you want to check out any of those artists, there's links down below in the description, so just click on there, have a look at the tracks, see what you think. You might find something new. Thank you very much for watching, as always, guys. Really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.